Your friend too, she gets frustrated, huh?
We're back.
We're back.
We're back here in action. We had a couple of hours of just chilling out, listening to music. Our friend Hannah brought her beautiful son Odie over, and he kind of gave everyone little high fives and healings and hugs. What a beautiful light being he is. And so we're going to now dive into.
Oh, yeah.
Here's the white report. Okay, Akashic record versus a cash record, karmic debt, and soul contracts. So go. Tell me about the Akashic record. What is that for people who've never heard that term?
It is your soul's history. It's like a public library, so to speak, of your soul's history. Mm-hmm. It's public. You can access it. Okay. That's one of the things we discussed before, is our access has been denied from us, so we're not really aware of a lot of this. But those of us who are aware understand that it was our Akashic record and our soul's history and journey got hijacked and replaced with the cash record.
Mm-hmm. So, my understanding of it, help me, it's a big library, and each life has a book or a page in a giant book that has all of your lifetimes and all of the information about your life themes you're working out with people, and different contracts you might have with them, or different missions and purposes you might have in your earth journey. And that's probably just very much a summary and a slice of it. We'll get deeper into it, but just, to bring it into form.
So, people who have had past life regression or hypnosis, they're able to view from their observer perspective different aspects of their soul's journey through awesome. Learning in different lifetimes.
Yeah, awesome.
And this was the intent for humans to be able to do this. What happened was we can view our Akashic record through our DNA, our memories. Everything is stored in our human processor computer in our DNA. So the DNA was hijacked, and it was created. What we're viewing is a cash record. What we're viewing is all this karmic debt and these belief systems we created that said, oh, well, I killed somebody in that past life. That means I have to suffer in this lifetime. No, because did you do that? Yes. You do understand that we played all roles in our lifetimes, victims as well as perpetrators. But we don't have karma. That's the illusion. Mm-hmm. We're supposed to be able to learn and observe in a neutral perspective. The karma says we have to pay for this. There's a reward and punishment system. There's a plus and a minus. There's a polarity. There's a light and a dark, and that's what we're trying to disconnect from and pull out of. So we don't have karma. That was something that was inserted in our DNA prior to our birth with soul contracts, and they were manipulated. Okay. Fine print was put in there, creating the circumstances that would manifest your, quote, karma.
Okay.
So it's not real. None of that is real, and going into viewing some of these, once you get the ability to view from an observer perspective some of your past lives and all the heavy charges, those charges are actually just negative entities that are attached to that to keep you stuck in your 3D paradigm, in your fear. So when you start to begin to experience some of this, the first thing a human wants to do is call out to the spirit that created it, because this is a spirit issue. So you're like, God, where are you? But our brain goes to the matrix that says God is Father, and we've created a whole lot of belief systems that said this is how you deal with it. Mm-hmm. And that's what's created the dis-ease within us, creating the mental disorder, because our brain has been hijacked. Our ability to perceive correctly has been hijacked.
Would we call some of that the patriarchy, or is that just a program within it?
It's a program of the X Factor. They're the winners. So the strongest survive, only the fit, get to continue. That was Hitler's whole thing. We want to become the supreme race and all this other crazy stuff. And it's just craziness. And that's what happens when we disconnect from the pain and understanding of our own human suffering. Our suffering comes from the separation of our source energy. It comes from the disconnect, creating dis-ease and disorder. And this disorder is posing as a governing order of our society right now.
Right.
And it's all wrong. It's all false. It's not real. None of it is.
So we were going to talk about greed and need.
Greed.
Yeah.
So everybody has heard the term, in necessity is the mother of all invention. So necessity is need. When you're in the kitchen and you're trying to do something, the tool makes life a whole lot easier, so you develop this need out of this angst. And our angst and our sensing, this emotion, goes right to the male brain that we all have that says, where's the light? Because this is in the dark, I don't know how to do this, I need something. So then your imagination kicks in and says, hey, maybe if you had something in this shape, like a spoon, it may help this.
There is no spoon.
But you can then, but you know what you need, so your imagination pictures it for you.
Right.
Instead of going to the matrix for your answer, which is what we've been taught, somebody tells us what happens when we need
something. So we got shamed for our needs.
We got shamed for our needs because it was taken away and replaced with greed.
Right.
That's more important than your need. Greed.
So pure desire was distorted?
Pure desire was distorted with polarity.
So there's a push-pull now. And I have to take from you and
give.
And so it's a give and take rather than
just being.
Yeah.
So the example I use, if we are tree of life, the flower of life, no one has to tell that seed to begin to sprout and come out and ascend. It just does. That's divine intelligence. It's picking up on the signals of its environment, and it's receiving it, and the technology within its DNA knows what to do. That's what's been tampered with us. Our DNA's been tampered with, so we don't know what to do, but hey, thank God there's a matrix out there. There's a whole bunch of belief systems that tells you that if you're ever lost or confused, this is what you do. But all that does is create more confusion, more back and forth movement, where you get a lot of people who never come down into the body and into the earth. They stay in their heart. And they'll bring in all this wonderful energy in the mind, and they come into the heart, and they can feel peace, but they never bring it down into the root. They just bring it right back up into their mind. And they use already existing cons and concepts that they know, okay, well, the earth is suffering, of course. And they think that they're honoring Mother Earth, and they think that they're doing the right thing, and they think all this stuff, but it's not authentic. It's not real, because you don't have to think it. It becomes a thought form and structure by the nature of itself. The nature of the energy and what you sense becomes a thought form in physical manifestation. So when we're used to going outside of ourselves to an external place for our answers, then we're going to create those scripts. Because so we're going to create more X. And more X's. So how many people are walking around right now with X's in their closets? A lot. How many ex-boyfriends and ex-girlfriends and ex-jobs and how many X's? How many X's?
So the antidote to the X factor is?
Unity. One of the things that we looked at was looking at things in a neutral perspective. And we looked at that we'll go back to 11:11. And remember, this is the veil. That's the veil. What we want to do is remove the veil, and in order to remove the veil, we need the neutral perspective. That means it doesn't judge. It doesn't judge anything as positive, and it doesn't judge anything as negative. It just is. It just is. It is what it is. If you take this little n, which will erase the veil, and it comes up here, and it begins to see the unity in this, it then becomes this. So the N becomes you, in a sense, you reality. So now, instead of being self-centered and always thinking of us, meaning I'm always going to be thinking about me and what I need to survive. It's about how I sense the other. Because what I do for me, I'm doing for you. So it becomes a we thing, a unified thing. Everybody is equal. Nobody's on top of another. The woman isn't better than he is, and he isn't better than she is. We all have an equal and valuable aspect of the whole. So when we learn that wholeness isn't holiness, it includes the missing piece, which is the suffering of humanity. And we learn to understand how the suffering was created. We can learn how to go back in and change the Akashic record back to the Akashic record. And back to the way that it was supposed to be to begin with.
So let's talk about soul contracts, if we can.
The only thing I can do, and I'll say this to everyone all the time, you have to go to andrewbartzis.com, the galactic historian. He is the one who introduced me to these soul contract revocations. Now, religions have taught us that if we feel fear or Satan or whatever, a dark entity, we're supposed to rebuke him, revoke him. That makes sense, but that doesn't work because somebody told us to do that. We don't understand what we're doing or why. So knowing and understanding what you're doing and why is the light of awareness that shines that darkness. Now, the energy's powerful. So in order to reprogram your own DNA, you're going to need to use sacred words, because you can see that the words that we had used previously contain a corruption. So change your language with vibrato from your diaphragm and say these contract revocations. It frees the sacred masculine. It frees the sacred feminine. He has one for the media.
So Andrew Bartzis, can you spell that? Andrew, obviously
Bartzis,
Andrew, and B-A-R-T-S-Z-I-S, is it? Something like that.
B-A-R-T-Z-I-S. And we'll link him.
We'll put the link up.
Underneath
Someone's
this.
asking. So.
And you'll go to his website and it'll say Insights. And click on Insights, and he's got a whole bunch of contract revocations for all the fine print, because our media is used to control our minds. So we pull ourselves out of this matrix everywhere we can.
Okay.
When you recite this, it's going to trigger things in your own awareness. He strongly encourages, the same way that I do, is to develop your own as it matches your own issues.
Okay.
So read these. It's a template. You're going to understand how it works because you're going to feel it. It will be a visceral experience.
Okay.
And as you feel this, create your own. Create your own. And learn how to do it in your own way and in your own voice. And you and your own guides within you, your own unity aspects, are going to take you through this journey. So into your body. Because we are our body. People are saying, we're not our body. Yes, we are. But our body has been inhabited by a virus that we have to get rid of, because we are our own healers. We are the wounded healers now coming into our healing, so that we can help the rest of humanity get their family jewels back.
Will you say more about that?
Hello.
We're doing a video.
The family jewels, is the cash. The family jewels is the cash. So we got to get our family jewels back so that they don't have it. When when the dark has it, or domination and control, the controls have it, when they have our family jewels, it's a cash record based on greed, based on the power of money and the love of power. So once you get your family jewels back, you bring it up through the womb chakra, you activate your womb, which is your will. Then you bring it to your solar plexus. Now you have the power of love instead of the love of power.
Awesome.
So we've all been taught that, our power is aggressive and, we have to fight, and it's that adrenal system, and that's the old brain, the reptilian brain, the matrix. We got to get out of that. We got to go get our family jewels. So we have to go in with our guns loaded, and our guns are, mom and dad. We need transparents up there, and we take the little boy who has all that light. He's got the flashlight. We shine him down in there, and we look for a sister, and we help her. We let her have the experience, and we let her have her voice and her pain, because she is the ticket. Once she shares and feels safe enough to share with the family can come together, and then we begin to inspire humanity in unity consciousness, placing family first.
In a real way.
In a real, concrete, physical way. Yeah. Family is what counts, because that's home.
Yeah.
And we've never put family first. The money's first.
Right.
So that's what happened. So everyone's like, well, we all knew that greed, but we didn't know why or how. Well, now we're coming out with the truth.
Is that why we all seem to have, especially light workers, seem to have these money issues and this inability to manifest, or to consistently manifest, or to hold on to form?
The false light said that, in order to be of a godly person, you were supposed to not have money.
Right, poverty and chastity.
Yeah, so they are, in a sense, some of those contracts, the bullshit, the belief systems, and you got to clean up the shit, people, and you got to go get your family jewels. And I'm just saying this just to be as real as I possibly can, because I don't like all those spiritual people out there saying, let's just breathe and let's just let it sit there. Well, you know what? I can let it sit there too up on the mountain, but as soon as I interact with my mother, guess what? I'm right there with the mother issues. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
We are put in competition with one another.
They say if you think you're enlightened, go spend a week with your family.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Cool. Triggers.
And it is a mother issue. I mean, I don't know how many women actually love their mother in a sense where it's that real mother-daughter, where there's no competition and there's true understanding.
Yeah.
I know black women do. I know the African-American culture, they knew because they were slaves. Mm-hmm. We didn't know we were slaves. Mm-hmm. We're the entitled ones. That's what... the race, the white race, we are the ones that have to get a grip. Yeah. The ones who are already suffered from slavery already have a lot of this understanding. But they still don't have the whole puzzle piece. They don't have all of it.
So sovereignty comes when we do these soul contract revocations, when we have this higher awareness and understanding of how we've been led down the garden path.
When you go into your DNA with your observer self, with the flashlight, and you go into those
darker
spaces.
You face the yucky.
Because what you're doing, when you face that yucky and you embrace the emotion, you're allowing the emotion to equilibrate.
To be neutralized.
You cannot do that without your parents with you. You can't do it alone.
So, okay.
You need to have all of your, ducks in a row before you go into the darker spaces.
Because otherwise it could really blow you out.
It can blow you away. But, your own higher consciousness won't let that happen.
Okay.
It really won't.
Okay. Awesome. This was powerful. And thank you guys for joining. This was a shorter one because we have some new people joining us here physically at the retreat that we need to meet and greet and hug. So thanks for showing up. And
if anybody has any questions,
if you have questions, feel free to put them in the comments, and we'll come back and address it probably in a bit later. Okay. Mwah. Much love, peace and joy, love and light, darkness and mud, fun and freedom. All right. Bye, guys.